Well, hey everybody, John Rethlin here, and this is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of Super Juniors 26 Night 7 event. And if you're wondering why I'm going to be doing solo reviews for most of the tournament action from here on out, because of work I was having to double up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mainly nights 7 through 10 are going to be all block action, so that's why I'm going to be trying to review these solo, because honestly, there's a lot more to dive into now that we don't have the undercard matches. I get why New Japan does the undercard matches, for particular tournaments and everything, and I totally get it. It's fine. It's totally fine. But some of those tournament, the tournament matches should be getting more of the focus. The undercard matches sometimes are kind of throwaway. Format has worked. More often than not, it does work, but in this tournament, I've noticed a few where it's like, it is what it is. However, with this, 10 matches, some were throwaway, but quite a bit of it was quite good. And there are a few things I want to rant on, so that's why you're getting a solo review here. So, we get Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, and Juice Robinson on commentary, and, Juice was mainly there because they kind of want, they want some insight from him since he is a pretty damn good wrestler, but also about the whole time's up thing, like, who does he think it is? And that video does play a little bit later that I'll get into. And then we start off with A-block action. Taka Michinoku versus Taiji Ishimori. Heel versus heel. Some submission work, some quick kicks and strikes, and a bloody cross gets the win. This was maybe a 6-minute match, maybe a 5-minute match. I mean, I didn't expect Taka really to win, but I guess they put it out there kind of to hype up the crowd. I mean, and Taka still can move really, really well, but I don't think Taka's going to get a victory at all in this tournament. So yeah, Ishimori gets the victory, and I mean, what'd you expect? Of course he was going to get the victory. Then we get Ren Narita versus Bandito to start off B-Block, and for 6 minutes, this was pretty goddamn good. Narita has really arrived. He has done well. He started off hot. He was hitting some really good moves. Kept going for that high gable grip, the release suplex, German suplex, arm trap suplex that he does. That was really impressive. He really has shined. I cannot wait to see what Ren Narita does in the future, especially after he goes on excursion and then comes back. And then, of course, you had this apron suplex, which, as we know, is the hardest part of the ring. But that was pretty brutal by Narita. But then, apron bomb by Bandito soon after that. And then after, a couple good exchanges, 21 Plex pins Narita, and there was a nice show of respect at the end. So Bandito gets a couple more points. I hope that Narita can get 2 points. I don't think he's going to. I really don't think he's going to. However, not a bad match at all. Certainly better than the first one. That's nothing against Taka and Ishimori, but it was very throwaway. This, for 6 minutes, was pretty fun. And then we get continuing the A-block action, we get Jonathan Gresham and Teton. Try not to laugh at that name. This was good. It, as you would expect. I mean, those who are familiar with Gresham know how good he is. I'm trying to get more into his work, as I heard a lot about him, was interested to see how he did on the Honor Rising shows, and he actually has impressed me quite a bit in this tournament, so I see why people sung his praises. Teton, heard about him. He is pretty good also. Some really good exchanges, some nice wrestling and everything. Gresham kept going for submissions. Teton really hit some nice strikes and kept trying to go for his own, submission pin thing. And there was a nice surfboard that he used on Gresham, but Gresham got out of that because he's the submission master. He's the octopus. Well, he's not the submission master. That's Zack Sabre Jr., but he is the octopus. He can just wriggle out all that stuff. Gresham does come back and gets a nice octopus stretch that eventually gets Teton on the mat, and gets a tap out. And that was good. That was a good match. Things are getting a little bit better. They're getting quite a bit better because with the next match for B-Block, we get Yo versus Rocky. It's student versus teacher, and this was good. I really did enjoy this one. I'm going to be interested to see what they do with Rocky from here on out, because he has been delivering a lot of really great performances. I mean, he's a tremendous wrestler, but a lot of people may have forgotten that. Maybe forgotten just how good he is, given the fact that he's normally on commentary. Since he's kind of like, a commentator slash wrestler, or maybe wrestler slash commentator. The whole point is, some people may have forgotten how good he was. That match with Ospreay may be one of the best tournament matches so far. In fact, might be the top 3, honestly, even with the stuff that's been going on in this tournament. I might end up doing a top 15 favorite Best of Super Junior matches, since we have 15 nights, and obviously the finals are going to be on there. The finals have to be on there. There's no way they can't be. The that Rocky Ospreay match, and a couple of these, this might actually make that top 15, because this was pretty good. Some nice quick shots. Yo focused on the leg, then you had, arm focus by Rocky. So each guy, they weren't holding back. They were hitting a lot of really good shots here. Rocky did hit some hard chops. really hard chops. I mean, Yo, though, doing pretty damn well. Some nice submission trades. And then a variation of the calf crusher, and Yo got the tap out. Rocky tapped out. That was good stuff. That shows just how much faith they have in Yo. And Rocky, of course, has got to be proud of the two guys that he's helped bring along quite a bit. Not that Yo and Sho wouldn't have been stars without Rocky, but his credibility and the fact that he is one of the best junior heavyweight wrestlers that's been around in a number of years. Rocky's credibility has certainly helped him, and this was nice. Yo got the victory. That was cool. And then the Time's Up video, Juice is pissed off. He doesn't know who the hell it is, but he didn't even want to be shot on camera. He didn't want to see the video. He's like, just cut it off. I don't care. It's like, I'm no, it's like basically haunting him. And they're building this really, really nice. My issue is we still have like 7 more nights of this. And you got 3 more nights of Juice on commentary because, or, well, no, 2 more nights. Because I think he's on commentary just for night 8 and 9. Maybe he is for night 10. I don't really know because that's not in Corkin. But I'm worried they may hype this up to mythical status and then get to where maybe it's a popcorn fart. And I hope not. I'm really excited to see who the hell it is. I talked to a friend of mine. He says it may possibly be Finley that's returning. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think Finley's still out for quite a bit, or for a while with separated shoulder, I believe. It's separated shoulder or torn labrum. It's one of the two. But anyway, then we get back to A block. It's Tiger Mask versus Dragon Lee. Not bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. I think it might have had to do with Tiger Mask's age, and it might have had to do with trying to preserve the guys. And see, that's the problem with a long tournament like this. Is some of the matches sometimes that you're excited for, they kind of don't live up to it. Now these guys did well for what time they were given. Tiger does start off hot, hits a really nice dive. I believe it was Chris Charlton that said crouching dragon flying tiger, which was a pretty nice line once I eventually got to it. There were some more submission trades. Tiger looked like he was about to get the victory, but nope. Desnukador, I think it's Desnukador is what it's called, pins Tiger Mask, and Dragon Lee gets 2 more points. So it was a fine match for what it was. And then we get B block action. Doki versus Bushi. Bushi just starting off red freaking hot. But I mean, first, Doki does actually, attack early. Shocking. Somebody, that has ties to Taichi, if you will. God, my wordplay sucks. Targeting, of course he would target somebody before the bell. I mean, Doki might be an honorary member of Suzuki-gun. Who the fuck knows? But that happened. Bushi comes back. Outside for a while, we get some nice submissions by Doki, as you would expect. But an apron DDT, the apron DDT seems to be, a staple of Bushi's, like action now, or like his moveset, which is fine. Wish Ospreay would stop taking so many bumps on his goddamn neck, and I'll get to that here in a bit. But he does hit the MX 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty short match. Doki taking some pins. I mean, and granted, Doki may have more ties to Mexico. They may have just brought him in to fill out the field since Desperado and Flip Gordon were out, hence why Doki and Narita are in. I get it. I get why, but I mean, I'm glad that Bushi got the victory. I was a little bit surprised because I thought they'd give it to Doki, but maybe after getting that 1 win, maybe he's just going to continue to take losses and he's not going to get much of it. He might get 1 more win, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to sign with New Japan. I'm not really sure. And then we get to A block match with Kanemaru and Sho, and yeah, this was shit. This was shit. This really was. Kanemaru attacks early, gets out in the people. They battle out in the crowd. Not the last time that we would have a battle out in the crowd. And they went for some good moves, and then Sho gets knocked down in the crowd. Well, among the people. I mean, not actually on people. That would have been a little bit weird. But Sho almost gets back to the ring, but Kanemaru shoves a, young lion in front of him. I don't know if it was Yota or who it was. I don't know if it was Yota or Shota. I'm not really sure who it was, but Sho did not get back in the ring in time, and the referee counted to 20, and they have a 20 count out there, and the referee probably could have counted to 40 by the time everybody got back to the ring, because he waited forever. But then again, that's how they do things in Japan. They want things to be settled in the ring. So yeah, that happens, and Kanemaru wins by countout. Now, I have no problem with heels getting victories via shenanigans, via stuff like this, if it serves a purpose. And to me, Kanemaru getting the victory just doesn't serve a purpose, unless they're trying to light a fire under Sho and maybe have him go a little more heelish or a little more vicious. I didn't like it. I didn't. I don't think the Kanemaru necessarily needed the victory. I mean, he could have won after 10 minutes with a Centauri surprise or something like that, and then got the roll up. I didn't like it, and it's like this seemed kind of lazy to me. And you want to preserve guys' bodies, that's totally fine. I totally get it, but to me, it seemed rather lazy. I didn't get why they did, except maybe they were crunched for time. And if you're crunched for time, maybe cut out the times up. Well, no, maybe not cut out the times up video, but maybe go with a few less minutes on some matches that didn't need it and kind of even it out. It was what it was. It kind of ties back to the whole show and Kanemaru thing. But now it's, with Roppongi 3K, Kanemaru, and El Desperado. But if you're going to do this, then even though we got the count out, now you could imply that Kanemaru and El Desperado could get a title shot at some point. The problem is Despy is out with a broken jaw or something like that. Which he may not be out for that long. Who the fuck knows? I didn't like it. I didn't think that they needed to do it. This brought it down a little bit. And there were a few too many shenanigans in another match I'm going to get into here in a bit. But I have no problem with heels doing their thing and doing some good stuff. But I just, to get the crowd to hate them and stuff like that. But this hurt Show more than it helped Kanemaru. And not that I thought Show was going to win the tournament. But Kanemaru sure as fuck is. And some surprises in the tournament isn't necessarily that bad. But I didn't necessarily like it. And then we get Robbie Eagles versus Taguchi. Quite a fun match. I really did enjoy this one. Taguchi coming in with 6 points. And Robbie wanting to try and get 6 points because he had lost to ELP recently when they were both unbeaten. So Taguchi unbeaten so far. So what's going to happen? Well, I mean, you'll find out here very soon. Unless you've already seen the match and then you already know and you just want my opinion. So nice submissions with some groundwork. A lot of groundwork, actually. Some leg focus by Eagles, which makes sense. Because then maybe Taguchi doesn't have the base to lock on the ankle lock. He does miss a 450 at one point. This was actually a pretty fun match. You did have some bumps on the outside. Not on the apron, which as we know, again, is the hardest part of the ring. A nice ankle lock. But Robbie Eagles gets out of it. Goes for a turbo backpack. Hits it. 1-2. Kick out. Taguchi hits Dodon. That chest buster. Not the chest burster from Alien. 1-2, but then in the end, Robbie Eagles gets a roll-up variation, 1-2-3. He pins Taguchi. Taguchi taking his first loss, which is fine. They seem high on Robbie, as they should be. I've seen him live. He is very good. He has certainly gotten over with the New Japan fans. So him winning didn't bother me. I mean, I was okay with this. Because Taguchi had gotten 3 shocking wins. I only expected him to maybe have 2 wins at this point, maybe 1. And he's delivered some great performances so far. This was no exception. So Robbie gained the victory. That was fine. But then we get Shingo versus Marty Scurll. And this was not good. This was not. You had Shingo kind of selling the whole leg injury thing. Sort of. Kind of. And Scurll going for the fingers since that's what he does. He's the villain. I got no issue with Scurll doing everything he can to try to win. At first, he's trying to beat Shingo straight up, trying to even match him for power. It didn't work. Brody King, by the way, is at ringside with Marty Scurll. Villain Enterprises. That's fine. Brody's kind of one of those guys that could block the view of some fans. So I get why they had Brody out there, but anyway, whatever. Scurll does take over. Shingo does come back. There was this ref bump. And Brody had pulled Shingo's leg. Well, then Marty uses not Marty Asami, but Marty Scurll uses the umbrella, cracks it right over Shingo's ear, face, and all that and everything. Because Marty had tried to beat Shingo straight up and everything. And then finally, okay, fine, I'm the villain. I'm just going to do this stuff and whatever. Okay, totally get that. This is where shit started to get out of control because then Brody interferes. And look, I had no problem with the umbrella usage, but This got to where it was too full of shenanigans and it brought it down a bit. And again, varying up a match or two doesn't hurt. But I didn't like it. I didn't think it needed it. It definitely didn't need Brody interfering because they make the referees in New Japan sometimes seem stupid because they get knocked down and it's like, wait, why the hell is this big guy throwing this other person around? How did I not see this? How did I not hear this happening? In the end, Pump and Bomber, that got a 2, but then Lesser Dragons got 3. So thank God Shingo won. And no offense against Marty, and I love Marty. I love the villain. He's great. I love his persona. I love the fact he gets a crowd on his side. Even though he tries to heal it up, he's still so goddamn good in the ring, you can't help but cheer for him. I didn't like, it was a few too many shenanigans. Didn't mind the umbrella usage, and then I got the Brody interfering, and it just got sloppy. It should go 1, thank God. But then we end on a great note, because we end with Ospreay and ELP, El Phantasmo, and my God, this match, maybe the match of the tournament, actually. This and Rocky and Ospreay might actually be the matches of the tournament so far. I mean, granted, we're only halfway through the tournament, but still, this was just great. I mean, Ospreay starts off with bell ring, shotgun drop kick. ELP's outside. He dives right out there, beating the shit out of him, throws him into the chairs. Maybe Ospreay knew that he needed to get the crowd fired up after all this shit that happened. So it's good stuff. Moonsault off the stage, went into the crowd, pretty much in the same spot that Sho and Kanemaru were. Moonsault by ELP off the railing. There's a lot of great shit to call. This is something you should really check out. This is a great match. So I'm not going to try to recap all the spots. I will say after, eventually, a phenomenal forearm type by ELP off the railing into, onto Ospreay to get back near the ring, and then back in the ring, ELP focused on the neck. A twisting dive off the top onto the outside by Ospreay was really, really cool to see. I mean, Ospreay it's fucking ridiculous how good he is. And then you get some more momentum switches, easy for me to say. You get a pile driver on the apron by ELP, which again, still the hardest part of the ring. Not quite. It may change eventually, but the apron is still the hardest part of the ring. Shooting star by Will for 2. There's a ref bump, of course. Low blow. ELP didn't quite get the victory, but eventually hit CR2 and got the victory. He stays undefeated. Him and Ospreay cut a tremendous pace here. You can tell they know each other so well. So I will say this main event and a few other things did elevate this to a B. I was really close to giving this a B-. It was a mixed bag. There was more good than bad. So I'm going to say a B, but had this main event not been as good as it was, I probably would have gone to a B-. But anyway, if I don't put a poll up here, please leave in the comments what you guys think. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I am John Ritlin. I will see you soon.